Perhaps no other word strikes fear in a singer's heart like nodules. Referred to as nodes in the pop cult classic movie Pitch Perfect, nodules are arguably the best known vocal health condition among singers. But what are they really, and how did singers like Beyonce, Mariah Carey and Luciano Pavarotti develop nodules? In today's video, you'll learn how to recognize the symptoms of nodules and, more importantly, what to do if you suspect you have nodules, because early detection is always better than fear-driven denial.
Sound check.
G'day there, my name is Dr. Dan and I am a non-clinical singing voice specialist. Over the past 30 years, I have worked with many singers recovering from the formation of nodules on their vocal folds. That's right, recovering. You can fully recover from nodules with the right therapy and care. But more about that a bit later. Firstly, let's answer the question, what are nodules? Turning to a dictionary for the modern singer, we learn that nodules are a vocal pathology in which benign callus-like lesions form on the vocal folds, often as a result of prolonged vocal abuse, including poor vocal technique, yelling, harsh glottal attacks, overuse of the voice, and poor vocal hygiene. The critical point here is that nodules form over time due to vibrational stress. Professor Inga Titzer notes, although direct causality has not been established, it is generally believed that certain types of growths on the vocal fold surfaces are a result of repeated and prolonged high-force collision between tissues of opposing vocal folds. Nodules typically start out as small, soft bilateral swellings. That is, they are generally present in pairs, one on each vocal fold, directly opposite the other. Another point to be made about nodules is that they are classified as functional pathologies instead of organic pathologies. So, unlike a fluid retention cyst, for example, which can randomly occur, a voice that develops nodules has done so because of the activity of the voice. This is great news because this means that the voice user can often, with the help of guided voice therapy, bring about functional change, which in turn can lead to a resolution of the nodular swellings. In fact, if they are diagnosed correctly, more than 90% will resolve or become asymptomatic through voice therapy alone. And this raises the next important point. How do you know if you have nodules? Well, there are some general telltale signs that we observe in a voice that has fallen into disrepair. Symptoms such as a persistent hoarseness, difficulty projecting the voice, a decrease in the upper range, and extended periods of vocal fatigue are all noteworthy. Sometimes these symptoms slowly build over many months, but if you notice any of these symptoms in the voice and they don't naturally resolve over 2 to 3 weeks, I strongly advise you to seek a full medical review, preferably by a laryngologist or a generalist ENT. Early detection and diagnosis can prevent further damage and lead to more effective treatment. Let me just stress that self-diagnosis is not an option. The only person who can correctly diagnose nodules or any other voice pathology for that matter is a licensed healthcare specialist who can clearly observe the vocal folds directly via a fixed or flexible scope. As already mentioned, for the vast majority of patients, therapy guided by a voice specialist speech pathologist results in complete or near full resolution and repair of the nodules. Recovery may also include prescribed periods of relative voice rest, including significantly reduced vocal loads. And the types of therapeutic activities you'll be given by your speech pathologist will likely include SOVT activities, including straw phonation and lip bubbles, with each patient receiving a personalized therapy program tailored to their individual speech patterns and vocal habits. Of course, there are times when surgical removal of the nodules is deemed necessary. Surgical excision or steroid injections into the lesions can be considered for the vocal fold nodules that are refractory to an adequate trial of voice therapy. It should be noted that unless behavioural changes are adhered to post-operatively, there is a high rate of recurrence. This brings us full circle back to one of our original points. Nodules are caused by vibrational stress, typically due to a functional fault. So regardless, therapy is going to play a major role in the recovery of a voice that has developed nodules. It won't surprise you to hear me say prevention is always better than cure. Functional voice issues like nodules can almost always be avoided with good vocal hygiene, including adequate hydration, periods of intentional vocal rest, and the development of efficient vocal techniques like those taught in my online courses, Voice Essentials 1, 2, and 3. If you'd like to learn more about these, check out the links below. Nodules are not the end of the world for a singer or professional voice user. Hopefully now you're equipped with the information we've covered today. You can put your fear aside and respond to any vocal health concerns you may be experiencing with a proactive response. I wish you all the best with your voice. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.